Hello again, and welcome back to the Filecoin Virtual Community Meetup. My name is Emily, and I will be your host today. But before we begin, as always, I'd like to remind you that by participating in this meetup, that you agree to follow the Filecoin Community Code of Conduct that is linked in the chat. So thank you. Now, we launched the Filecoin Meetup series as an opportunity for us to gather as Filecoin community members, builders, miners, and enthusiasts to share the incredible projects that are being built in the ecosystem and on the network. So thank you for joining us today and for following along, and also for contributing to this wonderful community. But before we begin the presentations, I'd like to share some recent highlights in the Filecoin ecosystem. First, I'm extremely excited to announce that the Filecoin global network of miners has dedicated over 2.5 exabytes of storage capacity to the network since its launch only 4 months ago. This is enough power to store 47 internet archives, 1.7 million years of video calls, 725 million HD movies, and 11,250 Wikipedias. So congratulations to all of the miners who have contributed to this exciting milestone. Now, last week, the Starling Framework for Data Integrity released the Photographic Archive of Trust. This archive is a collection of images captured by Reuters photojournalists during the 78 days between the November 2020 US presidential election and the January 2021 inauguration. The images were uploaded and stored on the Filecoin network, including immutable metadata like location, time, and verification, ensuring a record always exists to protect against tampering and disinformation. This is a wonderful case study not only for Filecoin, but the decentralized web as a whole. To learn more, please visit the project website, which is linked in the chat. Also, last month, the Filecoin community launched 2 new programs, Filecoin Plus and MinerX. The Filecoin MinerX program engages small and medium-sized miners distributed across the world to help improve Filecoin's experience and productivity in the early stages of the network. MinerX is designed to build a solid foundation of geographically diverse, reliable, long-term storage options to accelerate the development of tools and services in the Filecoin ecosystem. In addition to MinerX, in order to maximize the amount of useful storage that Filecoin can and will support, the Filecoin network innovatively introduced a layer of social trust through Filecoin Plus. Filecoin Plus is a pragmatic solution to the technically challenging problem of verifying that a particular set of data is useful in a permissionless, incentive-compatible, pseudonymous network, and presents a path for incentivizing using the network in productive ways. To learn more about both of these projects, please refer to the blog post that we will link in the chat. Now that you're up to speed, let's begin. First up, we have Tim, and he is the IPFSForce brand director, and he has some very exciting updates and announcements for us today. So Tim, please take it away.
Okay, thanks, Emily. Thanks for having me. So I'd like to share my screen now. Okay, so hey everybody, this is Tim from IPFSForce. Today I will bring guys some updates about Venus. So before I get started, I'd like to tell you guys a bit more about my team. You know, we are IPFSForce. We have been here in this industry for about 4 years. And as a miner, we keep doing about providing the mining solutions for the other people, for the other miners in China and overseas. But we, in another part, we are keep doing about the knowledge sharing. You know, we have held about 160th about Force Open Day, and we have about 12 times product school in Shanghai and Chengdu. You know, we do focus on technology research and development in distributed storage, and we want to be the Web3 infrastructure service provider. So now we are working to make the storage more efficient, economical, open, and safer. So, and we do have a strong team here. You know, most of them have worked at the top global companies like Cisco, IBM, Nokia, and Micron. And, you know, they do have a rich experience in data storage, interaction, and processing. And now we are also focusing on developing more and more Web3 apps and DApps here. Okay, for the next slides. Okay, a lot of people know us maybe as a miner. We are one of the largest miners in the Filecoin ecosystem. Yes, we do provide the mining solutions for people who want to mine the Filecoin mainnet. But in another way, we are also a developer. So we do develop about softwares, applications for the Filecoin whole ecosystem. So we can co-build the Filecoin ecosystem altogether. Okay. So back to the main point. Okay, so what is Venus? Maybe a lot of people are still wondering about what is Venus. Okay, Venus actually this is a Filecoin mining implementation. Actually we have about four implementations. The first one will be is Filecoin, and now we rename it as Venus. Another one is Lotus that you guys are using every day, and we do have Hoffman, we do have Forest. So there are about four implementations here. So for Venus, this is absolutely open source, and we want to, together we can build a resilient ecosystem altogether. Okay. So just a bit history about Venus. Okay. Actually, this is called Filecoin previously. A lot of people know it as Filecoin. And during that time, Momac raised an RFP, which is called Filecoin maintainership. So as IPFSForce, we do apply for it, and we get this chance to maintain the Filecoin. And after that, we rename it as Venus. As you guys know, Venus, it previously is called Filecoin. This is the very first implementation of Filecoin. At June 2020, it just stopped upgrading. But at the second half of September, it handed over and resumed by our team. So for Venus now, we did great stuff about the interoperability with Lotus. We did some changes. It's kind of like a data structure change, a protocol change, message handling, guys, mechanism change altogether. We did improve the chasing performance. Previously, the chasing performance on Venus is pretty poor, but later on we did a lot of great stuff here, and we made a great progress to make the chasing performance really well now. Okay, so I listed some top features about Venus. The first one, which is about the security enhancement. Security is really important. We guys are trying to mine on the Filecoin mainnet. We have to maintain a few avoided addresses be secure. About the owner address, your controller address, your work address. Each of these addresses have to be really secureable. So we did great stuff to make this kind of stretch addresses more secure more than ever before. Another part is about that is the force tolerance improvements. So about this one is about when you guys, for example, maybe when you guys are trying to sell a sector that time, but maybe at a certain stage, maybe it's a proof commit sector stage, you found some errors during that process, but maybe you have to restart over after you fix that problem. But with Venus, we can just restart it at that certain stage, which is maybe it's called a proof commit sector during that certain stage. So you guys can start it over again from that certain stage. So do not waste your time and energy to restart over again and again. Okay. Another part about the force tolerance, which is we made it possible for you guys to switch from Lotus to Venus and Venus to Lotus. This is great progress. So for people that maybe they are new to Venus, they want to have a try about Venus, you guys can switch to Lotus at any time. And so that's always nice, to have a plan B, all right? Another part about that is we do improve the usability and accessibility. So we do want to make Venus miner friendly, especially for small and medium miners. It's about all miners, all right? So we want people, especially miners, to use it more user friendly and easy to access. Okay. Well, yeah, this is very great. Yeah, we now currently we do have a Venus node, which is F0128788 that is running now on Venus 0.9 version. So you guys can go and have a try about the Venus 0.9. This is very great. You can see about this this node is mined its very first block at the end of last month, and this is really amazing. And look at this chart. It's running super smoothly, and the lucky value is more than 160. So it's pretty lucky, right? Okay, for the Lotus, for the Venus 0.9, a few highlights about this version. So our team did a great stuff about to make the Lotus and Venus switchable. So yeah, that's always nice to have a plan B, as I said. So when something bad happens to Venus, you can just right switch to Lotus, all right? And vice versa. Yeah, so that's really important to have this kind of progress here to make it switchable. Another part about that is we did some improvements about the speed, speedability, security, and the computer utilization. As I mentioned previously about the security part, you have to maintain your field wallet address, especially about the owner address, really secureable. Another part about that is the stability improvements. We want to make Venus running stable, so no, just your many nodes were not down at that time we running on the Venus, and that is really good. That is very good for you guys to mine on the Filecoin midnight. And another part is about the speed improvements. So when you guys are running at a certain stage, maybe at the pre-approved commit sector, they will be maybe a bit faster more than ever before. Okay, you guys can just have a download it and have a try. So I will tell you guys more about the Venus 1.0. Okay, so the great stuff that we are doing for now. The first one is which is about the code auditing. Yeah, we are keep doing so. You know, we have to found as many as bugs on this Venus and try to fix it as many as we can do. Yeah. So another part is we made it possible to integrate with Spectre Actor. Actually, great stuff from Lotus. We want to use it at Venus too, like the miner, seeder, seed deployment, all these kind of things all together in Venus. Another part about that is to make the private key security enhancement. I told you guys before, but we want to make it more secureable. So we do also did something about the utilization of miner command line. So that will be very nice for miners to have a try and to run it with Venus on the Filecoin midnight. Okay. Mm. So for the long-term plan, yeah, this is a long-term plan. We do want to build about something like a distributed mining pool. As you guys know, for now we have to, you invest a lot. This is really a heavy investment for Filecoin mining. You have to invest a lot, maybe, but put everything into one IDC. That is not that efficient, right? It's not cope with the vision of Filecoin, but now we want to do something to make, especially for small and medium miners. If you guys have resources, if people do have something that to add on this Filecoin mining to add more storage to a Filecoin main network. So we want to help you guys. So with this long-term plan about the distributed mining pool, we will make the modularized implementation. You can see from a few part below. As you guys can see from here, that is about the GPU output sourcing. We will try to make it possible. So if someone to have, this is very expensive to have a GPU mining, but if someone have a GPU and they want to, to mine at the Filecoin main network, you can just do with the Venus like the GPU output sourcing. Another part is in our own team, we have separate the Venus miner and the seeder. So each team will focus about how to make the miner more efficient and make the seeder more quickly, more than ever before. Another part is we do support the object storage sector. That is really important on the Filecoin mainnet to have to support the object storage sector here. And all those kind of things we want to do is for the small and medium miners altogether, and we want to make the united mining possible. So we want to make everybody who want to mine the Filecoin to find the implementation like Venus or Lotus. We want to everybody to use it every day and found to make it's kind of miner friendly, especially for small and medium miners. So we want to contribute more to about the storage to the Filecoin main network. Okay, so that's a short update about the Venus updates. Okay, we do want to say we do thank you, and we do need you too. Yeah, we do need you to provide your ideas about Venus, the way that you are using, and your any ideas or thoughts about Venus. We do want to hear more from you guys. So you can contact us from the below part about the Twitter or IPFSForce, or you guys can download the Venus 0.9, which is very great for you guys to have a try on the GitHub Filecoin project Venus. Or you guys, if you guys have any issues or thoughts about Venus, you can just select us on the Free Venus channel, or you can just scan this QR code to join our Chinese community. So that's all for today. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. If any of you have any questions for Tim, please put them in the chat and he's happy to answer them here. Or as he said, you can find them on the community Slack channel as well, which we can link in the chat. It really is, Tim, such an incredible milestone, not only for your team, but for miners, you know, across the ecosystem and for our entire community, whether you're a miner or not. So additionally, we encourage all of you that this is, you know, an open source contribution. So if you want to help build Venus with the IPFSForce team, you can help to make Filecoin stronger and more resilient. And I'm sure Tim can direct you as exactly where to go to learn more about contributing.
Cool. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Emily.
Of course. I don't see any questions here in the chat, but if they come up later, I know you'll be around, so we can ask them later on.
Okay, sure. Okay. Thanks, Emily. Okay, bye.
Wonderful. Okay, next up we have Brian Hoffman. Brian is the co-founder and CEO of OB1, a company that is focused on building decentralized software, including OpenBazaar, a peer-to-peer marketplace for global free trade using Bitcoin. Brian spent over 10 years working with clients like the US Department of Defense, classified agencies, as well as many Fortune 500 companies like Neiman Marcus, FedEx, Boeing, and Hilton Hotels, providing cybersecurity consulting services. Today, he will be presenting on FileHive, a digital marketplace for data assets that are built on PowerGate and Filecoin. All right, Brian, please go ahead. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Okay, I'm gonna try and share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Everything good?
Yep, looks great.
Great. So today I'm going to be talking about FileHive, which is a Filecoin-based dataset marketplace. My name is Brian Hoffman. I'm the CEO of OB1, and we'll get right into it. So who are we? We as in OB1 and myself. Like I said, my name's Brian Hoffman. I had a nice little intro there, but you know, for the last 7 years, I've been working on OB1, our company, which is it's a decentralized app development shop. We've been around since 2014, it kind of predates the DApp terminology. So we were dApps before there were dApps, and we got funding to start the business from some venture capital firms, including Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures and several others. We've raised approximately $10 million as of right now. Our development team is all over the globe, which is great. We're living the decentralized life. And our kind of claim to fame has been that we built OpenBazaar, and then we also built the mobile app Haven, which was a mobile app for using OpenBazaar on iOS and Android. And now we're really excited to be working with Filecoin and Proca Labs in the community to work on FileHive. Didn't like that. So what have we done in this space that gives us any kinds of credibility whatsoever? The first one would be we started working with Filecoin by integrating it into Trezor's open source software called Blockbook. And if you're not familiar with Blockbook, which I wouldn't expect you to be, but it's an open source explorer and indexer for blockchains. It was written originally for Bitcoin, and then it was expanded to other currencies like Ethereum. And we actually took some of the grant money that we were given to that was given to us to integrate Filecoin into the Blockbook indexer, which is awesome. You can go and see it at the GitHub address here if you want to take a look at it or maybe use it. And then we also use that technology to run our own indexers and explorers for Filecoin, and we wrote a wallet API on top of that as well. And it was primarily built for OpenBazaar, but it's agnostic to the software. and you can use it to build your own multi-currency applications, including Filecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, and Ethereum. And that's also available on GitHub for free. And then, like I said, we're currently working on FileHive Marketplace as part of the Filecoin grants program as well, which is open source. And I should have put the link here, but it shows up later in the slides, I believe. So OpenBazaar, just real quick, this is what it looked like. It was a decentralized marketplace. It prides itself on being censorship resistant. It's completely peer-to-peer. There's no fees for listing things or selling things. And so it was kind of this first concept of a decentralized application. It didn't run on Ethereum. It was predates Ethereum. And it was built on top of IPFS and libp2p. So we've been working with these software packages for a long time now. And then this is a picture of Haven. Nothing too exciting there, except for the fact that it exists. But so why focusing on Filecoin from OB1's perspective? Well, in my opinion, Filecoin represents a solution for a much needed use case into the decentralization space around data. It's built on top of IPFS and all the other amazing software packages that have been built by Protocol Labs and the communities associated with that over the years. It's something that we trust. We've worked with them for a long time. Like I said, we understand them, and we're really excited to keep working with them. And it's proven tech. And ultimately, we understand that data is really like the most important digital asset on the internet. Like everything is comprised of data. It's built off of data. And so, having blockchain support data in that way is a super important and critical infrastructure need.
Hey, Brian.
Going forward. Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we can only see your opening slide for some reason.
Oh, weird. Okay, sorry.
No worries. We just are all interested. Want to learn more?
It says sharing's paused. Oh, I get it. I can't full screen it. All right, sorry guys.
No worries. That looks fine to me.
I did not realize that was the case. Okay, so I don't know why it's annoying like that, but we'll just have to do that. Okay, so basically I said, what have we done? I showed OpenBazaar, as you can see here. Haven, so you guys are probably wondering what I was talking about. Why Filecoin? So my next slide here, where I'm at now, is, so quote is, the problem with data on the internet is there's really no incentive to creating or maintaining it other than altruism, right? Or, for your own personal reasons, granting permission to data, letting other people use it and keeping it up to date and valuable is just kind of, you just have to trust that these other parties are willing to do this, or that the government's willing to provide it, or whatever. And it would be nice if there's more of an incentive system for helping people have a reason to keep this data around. And so, how does FileHive address this problem that we've identified? Well, it empowers data owners to monetize their efforts. There's no incentive quite like money, as we've learned through blockchain and all of the different projects and chains that we've seen pop up. FileHive also encourages consumers of data to reward those data custodians in order to encourage them to keep providing this important data. It provides a place for curation, for discovery of important data that you can take and use on other projects. And we hope to expand that capability as we go forward with FileHive. And it also provides an interface into the IPFS and Filecoin networks that's absolutely simple for anyone to use. As you'll see when I show the demo, it's stupid simple. You don't have to run full nodes or do all these like fancy things in order to participate. It's really straightforward. So I'm going to show the product now. So let me see if I can share this and you actually see it. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, great. So this is the FileHive interface. And we're opening up FileHive today as a beta. So you can get to it by going to beta.filehive.app. This is the landing page for that. I'm already logged in here, so you can sign up and log in yourself. I won't really show that. That's not super fascinating, but essentially this is a screen. It shows the trending data sets that we have on here right now. And like I said, we're just opening this today, so this is really just a couple of sets that we put into the system for now. But you can see that there's a wide variety of different types of data sets that you can see. You see that they're priced in Filecoin. You can see kind of the US dollar equivalent of these, and some of them are free. And so I'm just going to click into this first data set. Really cool data set. It's a free data set, and this is the data set page. There will be a description of the asset, the size, and what type of asset it is. In this case, it's free. And what's interesting about this over here on the right is that if it's free, what you can do is you can instantly click and you can download it from IPFS directly, immediately, if it's free. You just download that data set and do whatever you want with that data. But below it is there's donation section. And every user that creates an account on FileHive has a donation address. And people who come and use these data sets are free to try and donate Filecoin to these addresses. You can point at the QR and use your wallet and donate money to these curators so that they're incentivized to continue funding the development and creation and maintenance of these data sets. If you decide that you want to get one of these other data sets that maybe cost money, let's say NBA basketball stats, you can read a little bit about what the stats are. And you can purchase it. Now, in this case, I've already bought this one, so I can't show you that, but let's see if I can find one here real quick that I haven't bought. Okay, so credit card fraud detection data set contains a bunch of transactions from the year 2013, over 250,000 transactions. It's like 70 megs. If I want to buy this, I can just hit buy. It'll let me know what my wallet balance is if I have enough to buy this. Once I click this button, it'll send a Filecoin transaction to this person, and hopefully if everything is working properly. So it did. It went through. So now that data owner has gotten the Filecoin purchase, and then I can go ahead and download this data set to my computer wherever I want. And then I'm sent to my purchases page where I can see all of the data sets that I purchased previously and download those at my convenience. So the page we're seeing right now is part of the dashboard. I can see the data sets that I've created that I'm selling. I can go into these and edit these and decide, you can see down here, this is the IPFS address, and I can go and see that content on the IPFS network. I can make it active or inactive so that people can see it or not see it for sale. I have my purchases like I showed. I can see my sales. So here's a list of all the sales that I've done, since the last week. I can see all these sales and how much I made off of them. And then I can go to my wallet and I can actually see all the transactions that have happened into my wallet and see how much money I have in there. And I can even send and receive just like a normal wallet from here. Some of these transactions are from Coinbase, which I sent in and out of the wallet. You can use it as a standard custodial wallet. And then you can change your avatar and stuff in your settings. It's pretty straightforward. But so that's kind of the core functionality of FileHive. There's also an admin interface where we can, if you decide to run an instance of FileHive yourself or like modify it and build off of it, we have a whole administration panel that allows you to control all these things where you can make people admins, take them off the site or disable data sets, see sales stats, things like that. And then obviously there's a create data set page. And you can either price it or you can make it free, completely free if you want to just provide open data sets for people. So that's pretty much FileHive in a nutshell. And we're hoping that everybody will be able to go and test it out and give us feedback, and we'll work on expanding it going forward. But the goal of this project is really to encourage people to share data, to create more data, to make it available, and hopefully be able to earn Filecoin in order to do so. And we have a bunch of new ideas that we're going to be like working on over the next, so many months and improving it. But that's kind of our first beta version. You can go to our GitHub and you can find all the code, so it's all available. We've implemented it on servers, but all the instructions to do so yourself. You customize it, do something differently, build off of it. It's an open source platform. It was part of the Filecoin grants, and so we've contributed to you guys. You can join our Telegram, and you can sign up on the website for our mailing list if you want to find out about updates and news and things coming up for it. And most importantly, we'd love it if you try to go and sign up and use it and provide input, feedback, and let us know what kind of features you'd like to see next, or how we could expand it and grow what we're doing there. So I know this is short and sweet, but that's pretty much what we have. So
Thanks,
thank
Brian.
you for listening.
That's awesome. It's actually super user-friendly as well. Sometimes people say that in this space for sure, and then they go and show a demo, and I'm like, I have very little technical background, and it goes right over my head, but it is awesome to see how user-friendly it is. So thank you for showing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we actually have one question in the chat. If you don't mind, I will read it. For Monitors wants to know, how does FileHive compare to Filecoin itself? I understand Filecoin is the monetary base, but do they offer duplicate services?
So FileHive is actually built on top of PowerGate, which is built on top of Lotus and Filecoin. And so we're not reinventing anything. It's purely an application that's talking to the Filecoin network. So when you send transactions through FileHive, we're sending it right through a Filecoin node into the network. Yeah, so we're not duplicating anything. We're using all of the Filecoin software.
Awesome. Okay. Great, thanks. All right, Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you are also on the Filecoin community Slack, so if anyone has any additional questions that you think of later, please find him and he will be happy to answer anything. Okay, so next we have an update from Roland Sun, who is from Fenbushi Capital, and we are just going to play a little video from him. He is out today celebrating the Lunar New Year. So if you all are interested in learning more about the Fenbushi Filecoin Ecosystem Fund, please watch this update. It looks like we've got a couple of technical...
Hello everyone, this is Roland of Fenbushi Capital. Today, on behalf of Fenbushi Capital, I would like to update you the status quo of Fenbushi Filecoin Ecosystem Fund, which we will set up in collaboration with Protocol Labs. First of all, I'll brief you the general structure and basic information of this fund. This ecosystem fund will be managed by Fenbushi Capital financially, while Protocol Labs will be the technical advisor, so it can be deemed as a joint effort between the parties. And in terms of fund size, it will be 15 to 20 million US dollars. However, we will just raise Filecoin as opposed to any fiat currency, stablecoin, or Bitcoin, or otherwise. Here we can see quite a few outside investors have been on board to join us. Here is a list of these committed investors as of February 3. All of them have committed a certain amount of funding to this fund. In addition to Fenbushi Capital and Protocol Labs, we have 4075 IPFS Union, SC Cloud, and Kipo, all of which are miners in China. And we have SNZ Capital on board, which is a very famous institutional investors in the crypto space, and Filecoin is also one of their portfolios. And we have Mikey Wallet and Math Wallet, both of which are leading wallets in the crypto space, and will support Filecoin soon. And we're also expecting a few more seasoned investors to be on board, with whom we have been negotiating over the last weeks. Now let's talk about what this fund is going to invest and what this fund may shy away from. The proposed investments of this fund will cover a full spectrum of IPFS and Filecoin ecosystem related projects, which however do not include any miners or mining machine. So generally speaking, it will cover the following. First, this fund may invest in distributed storage products using IPFs or Filecoin, which are most commonly seen at the moment. Around 60% of the current ecosystem projects are solutions for distributed storage. Second, we may invest in dApps using Filecoin storage. As you may be aware, most of the dApps are now deployed on Ethereum, which however are still using centralized storage or even without storage. So if any dApp taps into the Filecoin ecosystem, that means we may invest it, no matter whether it is deployed on Ethereum or any other ledger. The third type of projects will be Filecoin-related DeFis. Most of DeFis are deployed on Ethereum likewise. There are increasing number of DeFi projects supporting Filecoin. Some DeFi people are also bringing Filecoin into the DeFi crypto space, such as the REN protocol, which is going to issue Raptor Filecoin. That means maybe one day you can borrow Filecoin from Aave or other decentralized protocol. The last type will be something that may happen in the future. If one day Filecoin's ledger supports smart contracts, that means any dApps deployed on Filecoin's ledger will be our target projects. And on the negative side, there will be something that this fund will not go into invest. First of all, anything relating to a fork of Filecoin is not going to be invested. We are not prohibiting or discouraging any fork of Filecoin, which is still free. Nevertheless, since this fund will only support the Filecoin ecosystem, any fork of a Filecoin is not going to be supported in this fund. Secondly, this fund will not invest in any project designed to compromise the Filecoin network. I think I don't have to explain why we have this principle. Finally, if there is anything that Protocol Labs disadvises, definitely we will follow their advice. And in terms of the deal sourcing of this fund, we primarily source deals from the following. The first source is Filecoin slingshot competitions. There have been over 240 applicants on board in this program, and many of them have been reward-filled thanks to their outstanding performance. The second source is a Filecoin Frontier Accelerator hosted by Longhash in Singapore. This campaign was just commenced at the beginning of February, and 11 startups were selected and will be accelerated in the next 3 months. The total funding pool of this program will be over $1.5 million. And the third source will be the Filecoin Launchpad hosted by Techion. We actually attended their demo day 2 weeks ago, where 13 startups were selected and presented themselves. Each team presenting themselves on that demo day is offered the initial amount of $800,000. Of course, we will also source projects from the open community of Filecoin and IPFS, which we have been receiving applications every day. Lastly, I would like to show the timeline of the formation of this fund. There are something in progress at the moment. Specifically, we are setting up the fund management entity in the offshore jurisdiction. And in parallel, we are also drafting the fund management agreement to be circulated to the investor very soon. A couple of following steps will be taken in the coming weeks. In late February, we expect to sign this fund management agreement with all the investors, so that in early March, this fund will be duly formed. Shortly after the formation of this fund, we expect to make capital calls to the investors and receive their capital contributions. So ideally, in mid-March, this fund will commence its operation, which means we can start to invest in projects henceforth. To sum up, everything is being processed smoothly. So far, so good. But the only challenge before us is that our proposed timeline may be a bit delayed due to the coming Spring Festival holiday in China. We will have 1 week off. Anyway, we will try our best to meet the proposed timeline, and look forward to having this fund formed and starting to operate in mid-March. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to receiving your feedback and having your support for this eco fund.
All right, everyone, that concludes the February Filecoin virtual meetup. Thank you to all of the incredible speakers for taking the time to share your expertise and projects with us today, and especially for displaying what a vibrant and amazing ecosystem that we are building together. If you would like to stay up to date on the latest Filecoin news and events, please sign up for the Filecoin Slack, the Filecoin newsletter, and also subscribe to the Filecoin YouTube channel that will be linked in the chat. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you all at the next virtual meetup on March 9th. Thank you, everyone.